Hey guys, it's Kaylor. Welcome to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to cover week 2 of the weekly design challenge. The design challenge hosted on my Discord where I showcase and critique your guys' work. If you want to sign up, there is a link for the Discord down in the description. There will also be a card on the screen right now. This video will tell you all about how to participate and how this works. Also, there's some more information in the Discord as well. So this week, I've picked another handful of designs to showcase and critique. Again, I picked these myself. I go through every single submission and I pick these out for no one reason. These just stood out to me, and so I'm going to cover them in today's video. So with all that said, this week's theme was creating an e-commerce app design. This could have been a product page, a store page, a checkout page, whatever it was, as long as it was for a mobile device or a tablet, and as long as it revolved around e-commerce. So that is the theme. Let's take a look at this week's designs. Again, I want to say everyone's work is linked down in the description, so make sure you go check them out and support them on their social media of choosing. All right, first design of week 2 we have from Up Mohammed. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Dribble link for Shoaib is down in the description. So with your design, I really don't have anything to critique. I like it. It looks good. Everything's nice and clean. It looks like it belongs. This looks like an app that I would use. And I like the consistency of the colors, the layout. I especially like the category section here. I like these icons. Overall, the solid design. Like I said, I don't think there's anything to critique here. So thank you for submitting it for week 2. Shoaib's Dribble is down in the description. Check it out. Next up, we have a design from Tristan. Links down in the description to Tristan's Dribble. It says, I chose this design style as Christmas is coming, and I felt that an e-commerce app with Christmas deals would be cool. Okay, so I definitely get the Christmas vibe as soon as I see this, just because of like the little snow. I guess that would be the circles here. They look like snow. I like that. First off, let's take a look at the whole thing here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so first off, let's go into colors. I think you can work on the colors a little bit more with this. I like the background. I like the white, obviously. But these two colors I feel are out of place, and maybe this one. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that one. I'm 50-50 on that. But as far as like really critiquing this, other than the colors, I don't really think there's much beside two things. The circles here in the background, since they are full white, I think they need to be lightened. So maybe they don't have to be as light as this circle here, but just slightly lighter than full on 100% opacity white, because it's kind of blending with the text a little too much. So if you just lighten those up slightly, maybe at like 70-75% opacity, I think that would look really nice, and your icons and your text would stand out better. And the second thing is more of like a UX thing. The add to cart button behind here, that's a really cool effect. But since the purpose of this app is to have the customer purchase this and actually add it to their cart, I feel like this is kind of going against that. I like how the product is full screen like this, has a nice drop shadow. That's really nice. I just don't like the add to cart is kind of hidden. It just makes it feel more of like a secondary element when it should be a primary button on the screen. But other than that, the spacing you've got's great. Your font and type look nice. Overall, the app is great. Just those few little things that I would consider looking into. But that's just my opinion. Take that with what you will. Great design. Thank you for submitting it. Tristan's Dribble is linked down in the description. The next design we have is submitted by Beef, or a savory design on Instagram. That will be linked down in the description. Says here, I created a sneaker e-commerce app and tried to focus on a clean and simple UI to create a positive UX. So on this design, I like that you went with a colored theme. The blue to purple gradient is always nice with these lowered opacity cards. And also this black shoe on this blue to purple background looks really nice. So I'm going to critique this from left to right. So starting on this left screen, the border radius here looks a little large to me, but this is a personal opinion of mine. I really don't ever go over like 15. That's pushing it for me. So like a 10 to a 5 pixel border radius is something you might want to try out. I just don't like the effect that it gives when it rounds this much. But that's just a personal opinion, so just take with that what you will. As far as the text on your card goes, they're a little too close to the edge, so you want to push those in a little bit. And also, you might want to try taking this text underneath the name of the shoe and putting it into a gray to kind of separate these two out from each other. For the middle screen, the buy button doesn't need to be center aligned. It either needs to be to the left or the right. Just the way you have the elements on the screen laid out, it just doesn't look good here. It's kind of clashing. And then over here on the right, this text needs to be pushed in from the edge of this a little bit. This might even be okay, but just get this away from the edge of the card. And then you might want to consider looking into redesigning these buttons. I feel like that's the only thing that's really missing in the aesthetic of the app. But overall, other than those small things, I really like the design. I like the colors you've selected. So thank you for submitting it. Again, Beef's Instagram is linked down in the description. This next e-commerce app is from Reef. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Again, if I mispronounce anyone's names, I apologize. Reef has a Behance linked down in the description. And for this one, overall, the design looks great. I really like the color. Of course, I love using blue in my designs. That's one of my favorite colors. But it just looks really well in UI UX design as well. And I like the layout you're using. And everything looks really solid. I can tell there's some great work here. Let's go into a bit of critique on this. There's really not much. A few small things I just want to point out that you might want to consider. So first up here in the top left-hand screen, if you think about all these elements being center aligned, you can draw a line down the screen, kind of making an axis. This is kind of off, so you might want to take the forgot your password and center that up. The next screen, I like how you have the skeleton kind of loading in here. And I also like how you have the plus and minuses on the screen for the quantity. That's always nice to have in a shopping cart. Down here at the bottom, it's not really a design thing. It's more of a stock photo selection thing. I like this stock photo here, how it's white in the background. This heart really stands out, whereas this one really doesn't because of this image. So maybe when you're picking stock photos, just take a little bit extra time and try to pick ones with white backgrounds. If you'll notice, a lot of apps use that and a lot of companies use that, and that's for that reason. It looks better. It displays this, and this background information doesn't take away from the product itself. So same thing with this one. It just looks a little off because it's like this tan colored. I think this would really stand out if you have white backgrounds on all these product photos. But again, that's not really a design thing. That's just more of a stock photo thing. The payment screen looks really great. I like how you have the Visa detected. And on the last screen, it looks nice. You got the shoe straight in center. And I like how you have the 3D touch on there. That's pretty cool. So the last thing that I want to point out to you is the top navigation. I think the shopping cart icon needs to stay exactly where it is on all the screens. So obviously it makes sense to remove that in the payment screen, but like having it jump down like 30 to 40 pixels like it does from this screen to this screen just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a bit confusing. Same thing goes with the profile icon. This you might want to honestly just remove just because you already have that down here in the bottom nav. Again, same thing here with the cart. You might want to bump that up. So other than that, I think the design looks great. Thank you for submitting it. Again, Reef's Behance is linked down in the description. This next one is an interaction sent in by Daniel Munchie. Daniel has a dribble link down in the description. It says, my week 2 submission. I had to rush a bit to finish it, but I guess it turned out fine. It's a simple app where you can buy a lot of products, cheaper than anywhere else, of course. I wanted to do something cool and special design-wise, but sadly I didn't have enough time to get to that part. So I would have really liked to have seen the final product of this and what you were going to do with it completely, but I did choose to include this in the video because I did have a few points I wanted to make that you might find helpful. So first off, I like the design. I think it's nice and clean. It looks good. All the content's laid out really well. There's just a few small things that I think you can do here. First being the drop shadows. One, there's a little too many of them, and two, with a few tweaks to them, they can look really good. So first up on the images, I don't think it's necessary to have the drop shadow there. You could either do a outline around the image or just leave it as white, and so it just kind of blends into the card. I think that would be pretty cool. You might have to do a little bit of a line work with that or crop something out a little bit, but overall that would look really nice as well. The drop shadow on the card, the button and this button, they're okay to have, but you might want to lighten them up a little bit and increase the blur. So by increasing the blur, it's going to get them away from the edge of the actual shape a little bit, and it's not going to look so much like a kind of a fuzzy outline here. So if you do that for most of your drop shadows, I think even up here, if you increase the blur just slightly a little bit and then lighten them up a little bit, I think the design will really pop and look really nice. So continuing on, you've got some good motion in here. So I like when you click this heart icon, it kind of bounces in a little bit. The only other thing that I was going to say is this drop down. I really didn't get the navigation vibe from this. So when you click that, the navigation slides in. I would honestly just move over the Shop It logo and then put a hamburger menu here in the corner. Have the same effect. So when you click the hamburger menu, this little tab slides down and then the navigation slides in somehow. So the motion's fine. It's just that's a little confusing that's a navigation. So a hamburger menu I think would be a good fix for that. Next, I think we add a cart. Yep. And this slides in. I like that effect. It kind of stays there, showing the customer what they just did. So then you can go back to here to check that. And I think the screen looks good. Again, just the drop shadows and maybe a little bit more padding on these buttons. So increasing the height, especially. They're looking a little squashed. But other than that, I think the design looks really nice. I like that you presented it in motion. I know that even in Adobe XD, that still takes a lot of time. So thank you for taking the time to submit what you did. Daniel's dribble is linked down in the description. This next one is going to be the last one, I believe. This is from Julian or Vade Designs. Hey guys, here's my design for the second week of the design challenge. Feedback is always appreciated. So there is a social media link for Julian down in the description. I believe that's Dribble. I think that's what you wanted me to put there. So this one is in video format, so let's just click play. I've watched this a few times, and overall, as far as feedback goes, I really don't have much for you because I can't really critique this. I don't see anything that needs critiquing. Everything is nice and organized, displayed well. The color's great. The layout's good. I think you've done a really great job on this project. One question I do have for you, if you can comment on this video, is let me know if you did this in Adobe XD. I'm pretty sure you did. I just want a confirmation on that because the auto animate that you're doing in this looks really good. So thank you for submitting that. Julian's link is down in the description. So again, thank you to everyone who submitted a design to week 2. I look forward to seeing more of your guys' work in the next week. Speaking of the next week, we need to reveal that week's challenge. So the week 3 challenge theme is going to be holiday websites. Anything holiday themed, as long as it's a website, is fair game. So make sure you're designing something holiday themed and you're good to go. The video will be recorded on Friday, the 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just make sure that you have it submitted in the Discord by that time if you want a chance to be in one of these videos. So I look forward to checking out your guys' work there. Again, thanks to everyone who participated in this week's weekly design challenge. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more design-related content. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so make sure you have that notification bell on so you don't miss a video. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.